Welcome back, softies, for another episode of the Soft Knocks podcast.
Welcome to the fucking show.
So, no fan mail yet.
Shocking. Not even from your wife?
No one. Well, there's one fan mail in there. That was me when I tested it to see how it worked.
Count it.
Please. Like all...
Did it just say you're doing great?
Just said test. Even I couldn't give myself any credit.
Oh, God.
But please, guys.
Yeah, we'll keep asking.
5-star reviews. Leave some positive feedback out in wherever you get your podcasts. Make sure you follow us on those podcasts, like subscribe, and send us a text message. I'd love to read some on air.
Or
not just my one that says
or just
test.
one. If we get one, we'll read it.
Yes, every week.
The same one.
You'll be a permanent fixture on the show.
Ooh.
Oh, man.
All right, what do we got going?
Well, I want to hear about the rest of your birthday party.
Birthday?
Because I left pretty early. It was our anniversary. Well, the next day was our anniversary, so we were going to go out anyway. We met up with you guys at
2:30 or something?
Yeah, I don't know. I picked a couple people up from Beaverdale, I guess is the neighborhood. We went out to lunch at a place called the Dam Pub. Have you ever been there?
I have. And,
Fucking awesome.
Never to eat, though. I've been there a few times.
They got this like rooftop, and like they were serving like brunch and stuff, and it was pretty good food. We had a breakfast pizza.
I've always heard
it's pretty
people,
awesome.
There's a guy I know that works there.
It's hot as balls out on Saturday.
It was. It felt like August.
Yeah, felt great.
But yeah, I can't complain. Better than the rain and cold.
Then we went to Bevy's, which I think we thought had a patio, but did not. But I still like the place. I didn't think it was that bad.
Way more covered
than
I remembered, I guess.
They should have that open.
Yeah. I thought at least the windows were like the garage door windows.
Yeah. Like, I get, like, that little back patio area. Like, I get if, like, during the winter you wanted as extra
you can
space.
close it off.
Although, inside is a huge place. Like, it's much bigger than it looks like from the outside. You think they would come up with some way to have that be open air during the summer.
Yeah. We didn't eat there, but the food is pretty good normally.
Okay.
But, yeah, I thought that opened up. But
the other place, the other place we went to, the Pelican
that was
place,
fun.
was much better outside spot.
Yes, more for hot weather drinking. Yeah, that was fun.
Played some bags. And then the wife and I left, and we went to Captain Roy's for a buddy of ours plays drums in a band, and they had a show at like 6 o'clock, so we went out there. Place is pretty nice. It was all outdoors.
I've been there once.
We had a table the whole night. We were there till like 9:30, 10 o'clock. They were a little slow on the food we tried to order, but other than that, it was good. It was fun.
You drove, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We didn't get too crazy.
Yeah.
You guys kept going, and I haven't heard anything about how the rest of your night went. I mean, it was your birthday. Like, I can only imagine it got a little crazy for you guys.
It was just really after we got home is when it really hit me. The bar was fun. We got home and had a few more and watched Con Air, which probably wasn't smart to watch it at that point.
No, probably not.
So some of it's a little blurry, but yeah, I was bringing my little dog downstairs, little Yorkie, and had a sock slippage, and I bent like a pretzel, fell down the stairs.
Did you tear your ACL?
I thought I did. I hobbled to the couch. Everyone's like, what the hell was that crash? And it was just my fat ass.
It was just an imprint of you in the wall?
Yeah, pretty much. Like, I feel like there should have been like a chalk outline of me falling down. I held on to the dog, though. Very tight. And I
Yeah,
hobbled,
man.
and I just kept looking like, is this going to balloon up and swell on me? And it was like throbbing. Toughed it out the rest of the night, and woke up the next morning. I could not get out of bed to like feed the dog or do anything.
Oh my.
We got some crutches from our neighbors who had some, so I was crutching around and icing it. And we had David, our podcast buddy, my brother-in-law, who's a physical therapist. I never thought I'd have an ACL check from David, but he got in there deep and was like rubbing the tendons. And
I bet he got in there.
he got in there real deep. He close to a molesting, but it had to be done. Luckily, ACL and LCL were intact, but when he bent it for the MCL, like my hair about went off my head. It hurt pretty bad. But luckily, he Dr. David thinks it's a bad sprain.
Yeah.
So I've been hobbling all week, and it still hurts.
Man.
This is a good start to 37.
That's like one of my worst fears is somehow like just like blowing out the knee somehow, because it's not going to happen doing anything like real athletic. It's not like I'm going to be like, yeah, I was out with the boys playing hoops and I went up for a dunk and, somebody came in and fouled me and I said, nah, it's fine. It's prison rules. And no.
I was more worried about like going to a doctor and like, how'd it happen? I'm like, well, I smoked 30 beers and fell down the stairs. But I think this would have happened sober. The sock slipped. And
aren't your stairs carpeted?
Yes.
Okay.
Just get that slippage. Still slippage. I don't know.
I shouldn't make fun because, I mean, it doesn't take much as you get older. Like, I think I was talking about it on one of our first podcasts that like, I was out like jogging or something and I felt like I was about ready to blow out my Achilles. It's like you're doing like the simplest like
thing.
human thing, and you're just gonna like totally crumble as a person.
Yeah, and I had one of my neighbors was there who did not go out with us, so he was like sober. I can only imagine what he's thinking. It's like,
oh God,
what a 37-year-old drunk ass falling down the stairs. But it was a fun day overall.
Did you guys go anywhere else after Pumpkin?
No, we stayed there until, it wasn't that late. What was it? 9?
Yeah. Oh, that's...
And got home like 9:30 and then watched a movie and blew my knee out pretty much. So a good start to the year for me. But I think it's okay. It's getting a little better.
Yeah, it'll just take some time.
Then my worry was because I got that concert on Saturday. I'm like, that's going to suck to walk on that.
Oof.
In Ames.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, just
Jack
going
Tri
to
Stadium.
Ames will probably make you feel better.
Yeah.
I mean, it's God's country up there.
And it's at the football stadium.
Nice.
Yeah.
And who is that?
George Strait.
George Strait.
Chris Stapleton.
Oh, yeah. That'll be a good concert.
Yeah, it'll be fun. So I survived, luckily.
God.
So you got out of there at the right time, I think. Things got...
Yeah, I mean, we were there for a little bit, but yeah, I don't know. It was hot. It was just like out in the sun. It was hot.
It like I said, it felt like August. It was very, very warm.
So Captain Roy's is like right off the river,
Mm-hmm.
and there's a marina right there, and so there's like boats and stuff going on, and there was these like, I don't even know what to call them. They're like mini boats. They were very small boats, couple people, and big loud engines, and they were like doing like tricks or stunts. Like they were driving really fast and like doing these donuts, and I'm like,
totally sober too, I bet.
I don't know. But that was interesting, you're trying to listen to music and there's these boats going nuts.
Yeah, they had to drive the band a little nuts.
Maybe, I don't know. Those guys were having a good time too.
Oh, but yeah, it was a fun day. Then taking it pretty easy since then.
Yeah, I bet. Well, I mean, you can't walk.
Can't walk.
You're wearing a knee brace to do a podcast.
It's a rough business we're in. No listeners and broken limbs. So sports-wise, I think the big story was Scottie Scheffler.
Not just the big story, but this might be my favorite story in, I don't remember how long, in years. And just like, it just keeps getting better and better. So
Yeah, the video.
that was a Friday morning, right? And so Fridays I work from home, but I get up at like, I don't know, 6 a.m. usually on those days. And I wander downstairs, I make coffee, I fire up the home office, and, then I fire up Twitter and Instagram to see what's going on in the world. And I see on Instagram, I see this saying about Scottie getting arrested, and I'm thinking, I was ready to like text the group chat, but I'm like, no, can't pull the trigger that fast. This has got to be fake. So then I started looking around.
You could pick one athlete. That would be the last one you'd pick.
Yeah.
To think you get arrested.
I started looking around and like, no, Scottie got arrested. Like you start like seeing the actual story of what happened, and like you just think like, okay, someone's not telling the truth here, and you're I don't know, you've been ingrained to not necessarily believe the athlete, but my God, the guy gets arrested for a borderline traffic infraction. And like the craziest thing is that from everything I've heard or read, these guys, they get these courtesy cars. So think like BMW, Mercedes, probably a bunch of advertisements for the local dealership, they've got credentials on them so that, it's someone, it's either a golfer or it's someone important at the golf course.
Yeah.
They are at the gates to Valhalla, the golf course. And like these cops, like, I mean, who do you think that is? Like, it doesn't matter if it's Scottie Scheffler, if it's,
even if it's
some nobody,
Yeah.
It's like, who do you think it is? And then on top of that, these golfers have been taught that they can go around this traffic. Mm-hmm. Like they're, right or wrong, they're special and they get to go around because that's their job. They got to go there. They're the reason that there's, a couple 100,000 people that are going to the golf tournament. Right.
Yeah.
And then like you get the, all the memes and all the pictures.
That was the best. Those memes were
It's insane.
Brilliant. Some of them.
I can't believe how fast people got the mugshot.
Yeah. The best, what was it? Get arrested, and get released, and be able to make your tee time was the most white guy's timeline of all time.
My favorite one was they had the Predator handshake with Carl Weathers and Arnold Schwarzenegger, and it was like on one hand it was on one hand it was liberals, and the other hand it was Scottie Scheffler, and in the fist it was like bringing an end to police corruption.
Yeah.
And I couldn't stop laughing at it. I just couldn't. How great would it be if it was some middle-aged, well, not even middle-aged, he's young as shit, but like, it was just...
By the way, oldest looking 27-year-old I've ever seen.
Some white golfer is what brings around police reform. Oh, man. And it's so bad because like, I'm inclined to believe police. Like for the most part, like when these stories come out, like I sort of believe that if you're not doing something wrong, you're not getting fucked with, right?
Yes.
Well, I don't know. This kind of really brings that into question. Because as it just goes on, it just gets crazier and crazier.
Like each incident is different, but
yes,
this one,
obviously everything happens. Everything happens on
this
its
one
own,
is the type of cop that gives him bad name. I mean, this guy.
Have you seen the videos that have come out today?
Yes. And
it's like the police department released video like it was going to exonerate them. Yeah. And all it did was make them look like fools. It's just like all you see is like you see Scottie take a left turn into Valhalla's entrance, and you see the guy like running towards him and then take a swing at the car, and like that's gonna do something. Who does this guy think he is? And like the police report said that he was like dragged. They made it sound like he was dragged for 20 yards.
His $80 pants were
$80
ruined.
pants. Now, they're uniform pants. Now maybe that's what the department charges the cops.
It must be.
But I think that he's got some explaining to do.
That video does not look like his pants were destroyed.
No, the guy was never on the ground.
No, unless he shit himself or something. But
and then, I mean, body cam footage. Oh, sure, that's not on.
No.
Now, maybe he didn't have time. If you're going to have a problem with a guy and you're going to run after him, maybe you don't have time to hit the on button. I don't know. But I just thought the whole thing was crazy. It may have robbed us all of something. Like, could you imagine if Scottie goes on and wins the U.S. Open and the British Open, and then the only one he didn't win was the one where he got arrested?
Well, he played really well that day.
He did, but that has to have been just like a delayed reaction.
Yeah.
The guy gets arrested, comes out, fires off a 66.
Gets a felony and then
Good God. And then, on Saturday, it either set in. He didn't have his normal caddy on Saturday.
Yeah, so why was that?
Well, his caddy's daughter was graduating from high school.
Oh, okay.
And so he flew out for one day to go to the graduation and flew back for Sunday. And now, if none of this had happened, I don't think the caddy makes a bit of difference. But the guy gets arrested, and then to top it all off, the biggest part of your routine is just fucked. Yeah. Is just off doing something else. That's, whatever. And then he comes back on Sunday and plays great golf on Sunday. And so you just wonder, now, Xander, who won, played great. Scottie was still many back, and he still would have had to have played a pretty great round on Saturday.
Yeah, you guys were right. Oh, DeChambeau was there.
Yeah. I certainly think he would have been more in the mix. And don't forget that there is this aura about him right now, and Xander has been one who has let leads slip.
Yeah.
Now, if the number one player in the world is
on your tail,
right there with you in the lead group on Sunday, does he fold? Does he still finish like that? I don't know, but he hasn't been able to do it in the past. But he did win. Good for him. I just think that what a terrible, unfortunate set of events.
But hilarious
for Scottie Scheffler. Oh yes, but hilarious. And it just doesn't end, because now everybody's invested. Everybody wants to know. The police department. Although the police don't really get to decide who gets charged. That goes to the DA, which is weird, because you think the DA would be
drop this.
You fucking idiots.
Yeah. Let's just move on from this.
Yeah.
Are they pressing then?
They haven't. At this point, they're still pressing charges.
I would think they'd.
But Scottie's lawyer, who happens to be from Kentucky for this, or maybe he got a local lawyer, I don't know, is we're not settling.
No.
The charge is either dismissed or we're going to litigate.
And we know he can afford him.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Scottie doesn't seem like the guy who would do it, but
No.
I feel like this is a perfect instance of I'm going to sue the city. This is defamation. He could probably point to his record this year and go, look, there's actual monetary damages. He cost me 7 places in a golf tournament. Yeah. That's $300,000 or whatever it ends up being, right? I don't know. It's a crazy story.
I wonder if he'll do that or just
no.
He'll just let it go. But
he will fight it to the end, which is great. He should.
It's the most ridiculous thing. There's real criminals getting let out, and
So let me preface this by saying that my source in this next story is just someone on Twitter, but they had a screenshot of an official document, so it seems real.
Seems legit.
This cop has been disciplined for a bunch of shit.
He's like Paul Blart.
He got disciplined for doing donuts in his cruiser.
This guy's probably be fun to party with, or maybe not. I don't know.
Maybe he was just really hungover from the night before and was pissed that he had to be out there at 5 a.m.
I have no problem with the donuts. That's pretty cool.
No, I don't either. I just think it's hilarious.
I have the problem with arresting the world's best golfer for nothing. But it was funny.
Do you think that, like, from now on these courtesy cars, they'll put, like, their world ranking on there?
Yeah, number one.
Yeah, like Scotty's number one. You know, that way if it's like number 47, like maybe they can do whatever the fuck they want.
Truthfully, if Scotty ran over a cop, I would have been shocked if they arrested him, let alone whatever this was.
So I did hear that I guess the cops that work that golf tournament are cops that normally like play golf. And so they watch golf, they know golf.
Probably a sweet gig.
Yeah, it is. It's a pretty cushy gig for these guys.
Yeah.
The problem was, and like, sadly, I know people. An old retired guy got hit by a tour bus, which is what led to all of this. And the cops, all the cops got called in for this to deal with this, right? So this guy that arrested Scotty was not there for the golf tournament. Like, he was not there to work the golf tournament. He was there because of the accident, right? And so he may not.
He was doing donuts before they called him in.
Yeah. He probably was sleeping one off.
Yes. He's in a bad mood.
I mean, what a day for Twitter.
I know.
And Instagram. It was just incredible. I mean, the group chats, like ours was going off, but like the golf group chats that I'm on were just, it was just nuts.
This is your Super Bowl.
Yeah, it was. It was great, man. Completely awesome. I mean, the memes were just...
The Shawshank one, I think, was I'm going to tell my kids this is Tiger Woods and Scottie Scheffler.
Yes, that was
Morgan
great.
Freeman and
that
Tim
was
Robbins.
Great. There was a lot of like Tiger and his like big dog handshake.
Tiger picking him up from prison.
Jail. Yeah. It was phenomenal.
Do you think Tiger would have? You would know who Tiger is immediately, right?
Yeah, and Tiger's gotten some breaks, like like he's had a few like DUIs and stuff that never really amounted.
There's probably
to much.
no way this guy knew that was Scottie Scheffler, right?
No, there's no way.
Which honestly, if he just walked by me, I'm not sure I'd.
And the other cop, the craziest part about the story is that there was an ESPN reporter who just happened to be in the traffic.
Yeah, Jeff Darlington.
And he just got out of his car and started like filming and shit. And then like
then they threatened to arrest him, I think.
Scotty looked at him and said, "Can you help me?"
Yeah.
And Darlington's like, he's like, "Hey guys, I'm a reporter, whatever." And like the other cop, not the arresting officer, is like, "There's nothing you can do. He's going to jail."
Yeah.
And nobody, not Scotty, not Darlington, nobody said, "Are you fucking kidding me? That's the number one golfer in the world, Scottie Scheffler.
Trying to get to the tee.
The guy has an 8 a.m. tee time. What the fuck?"
Oh, yeah, he was probably
like,
scared.
Write him a citation and let him go on to the golf course. If that's look at him. Look at the car he's driving. He's getting out of jail today. There's no way you're keeping him over the weekend.
No.
The man has a lawyer.
Oh.
How'd you like to be that cop?
I was just gonna say, like, what are the conversations with his friends and family?
No, forget that. What about the call he gets from the goddamn chief of police? You did what? You arrested who?
It'd be one thing if like Scheffler was being like aggressive, but he wasn't. Like from that video, at least.
No, I think that either another cop or another volunteer who volunteers and cops all wearing the same yellow fucking windbreaker.
Yeah.
Right? I think another cop or another volunteer told Scotty, yeah, just go around.
Yeah, probably.
And then this guy's like doing probably hand gestures. It's not like Scotty had his windows down.
Yeah.
Doing hand gestures and stuff. And Scotty's like, I don't know what the fuck this guy wants. I got to get to the range.
Oh.
And like, from the explanation, you didn't really know what it looked like. But then you see these videos today, even though it's not a good angle, you can see him turning in there. It's insane.
But he even stopped. It wasn't like it wasn't like he kept dragging.
He made it
him,
sound like it was 30 yards, 100 feet.
He made it sound like it was a Stallone movie.
No,
like
man, the guy
dragged.
took a left. Like, he could have just been pulling in there just to stop for the cop.
Yeah.
You know, it's like when you get pulled over, you don't always just pull over in the most inconvenient spot. You pull into a parking lot or something, you know?
Exactly.
It was just nuts.
Oh. But congrats, Xander Schauffele. Yeah.
I mean, it was a great golf tournament.
It was pretty good. I saw most of the ending on Sunday, but...
God, I didn't get to watch much of it on Saturday. I don't think I watched any of it on Saturday.
No, I didn't. I was too busy at the patio bar.
Oh, correct, yes. We did not watch any of it.
I didn't see...
Although I did ask them at Bevy's to put it on, so it was on in the background. But no, on Sunday, what did we do Sunday? Oh, so the kids were at my parents' overnight. So Sunday morning, we didn't have anywhere to be. But we had to go do like grocery shop and adult shit. So we went to like Costco and Walmart, fucking bane of my existence. And we normally go over to my parents on Sundays. And I was like, all right, I kind of want to watch some of this golf tournament today. But she wanted to go furniture shop, and we're talking about getting a new furniture for the living room. And I was like, all right. I want to watch some of this golf tournament. Luckily, the leaders never tee off until
later.
Pretty late. So, yeah, we went over to my parents, and my dad had it on, so we were watching it over there. But,
oh.
God, it was just something else. It was so great.
What else is happening? NBA playoffs. I know you're not really watching much.
No, but I did notice that
I was wrong on both those.
Yeah, we both kind of talked about the T-Wolves and the Pacers kind of being written off because of where they were at in their series, and they both came back and won, which is awesome. I love it that the Pacers are in it, although they on Tuesday night, they started off real slow, then they fought back, and then it came down to the end, right? It was like a pretty lucky shot by Boston at the end to tie it.
The other night, their game one?
Yeah.
Very lucky. Oh, I think that was their chance. This series is over. I'm calling it over. That was the one that they had to get to steal. They were up by 5 with 1:30, and then 3 with, I think, 15 seconds, and they could not inbound the ball. Turned it over.
That's too bad.
And truthfully, Indiana, what are they, a 6th seed? I mean, I don't think they're that great. So I think it'll be Boston. The other series, Dallas stole the first game in Minnesota, but I don't really think that means a ton. Both teams are pretty equal, I think. I don't know, my gut still says Minnesota will win that, but
I hope so.
the only thing I do, if I had a favorite player, I do like that Doncic from Dallas, Luka Doncic. He's pretty damn good, but I think Minnesota's a better overall team. So,
well, that and they have Michael Jordan's illegitimate son.
Yes, he's pretty good. He's still not Luka though. I think.
No,
but he is awesome. So that's with the NBA. I just gave Minnesota the kiss of death there. So it'll be Dallas and Boston.
Boston looks pretty good. As much as I haven't watched a ton, but from what I've read and what I have seen of them, they look like
I did take a bet Saturday night.
Yeah?
One of Brad's friends.
It's been a minute.
Took Boston to win the whole thing.
Oh.
So I am cheering for
anyone else.
They were minus 130, so he laid 130 to get 100. So.
Well, that is pretty crazy that they're not even in the finals and they're even money, essentially.
Yeah.
To win it all.
They were, by record-wise, they were by far the best team in the league, but they were in the East, which is a little weaker.
Yeah, but you're still talking about having to go through 2 teams to get there.
2 really good teams.
And it's like anything can happen.
Like this series, they probably got this one, but whoever's in the West, they'll have a tough time with one of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then there's NHL. We have nothing to add on that because we don't.
No, I don't have anything to add.
Looks like a Canadian team might have a chance to finally win a cup.
Oilers, Edmonton.
Yeah. Shall we get on to the movie? Do you want to do a
Probably.
movie?
Yeah.
All right.
So
Now you're gonna have to carry me on this.
we watched Con Air,
Nick Cage classic.
and I watched it sober, but Frankie evidently watched it after he almost killed himself falling down the stairs.
Yeah, my knee was throbbing, and I think I got most of it.
I mean, I sat down to watch this movie, and I thought, like, just going in, like, I've seen it many times, and anymore, all you catch of Con Air is like memes of Nick Cage and his like flowing hair from the movie, and like I just saw it like, all right, this is just gonna be a terrible movie. It's older, like when you watched it originally, like yeah, now you're just like it's just nostalgic. You think it's gonna be great, and it's gonna be terrible, but no, it's just a good watch.
It's a good action flick.
It is,
and it's unique.
It's
a prison on a plane.
Yeah. Which I read is like a real thing. That was
going to be one of my questions. Is that a real thing?
That plane is like that transport system is a real thing. Now,
Has this ever happened?
This is not based on a true story, as far as I know.
Oh, so yeah. First of all, this movie starts out with a bang with a Leanne Rimes song, which is you would not expect a Leanne Rimes song to open this movie.
There is a lot of like
there's some corniness.
There's a lot of corniness, right? So like when this movie starts out, it starts out and it's like he's at like he's an Army Ranger,
badass,
and he is at like presumably he's been deployed, right? And he's
finally home.
He's finally home, right? Yeah. And he goes and he goes to the bar where his wife works, and
who, by the way, very hot.
Yes, and he must be like just oozing manhood because he somehow has impregnated her, and she is not showing. Like she has like abs. You could tell like she probably has abs, and like he's talking to the unborn baby in her, and I'm thinking like,
wait a minute, what? Are we sure it's his baby?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
like. You have been away. Like, how is she pregnant, but not showing? And you were off, at Ranger camp. I was like, well, that's a little odd.
Not to Cameron Poe. He sounded like an idiot. That accent was terrible. But
yes, the entire time his like Southern draw accent was a little much.
A little much.
Can we just say though?
Did he even practice it? Like that was.
I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know.
It was one of the worst accents I've ever heard in a movie.
I also think that like, all right, so while the movie is great, like the action is great, all the scenes, it's a good watch. Just sit down and watch it, right? The premise of this, like how the whole thing starts, is a bit nuts. That was self-defense.
Of course.
Right? And no jury in America is going to convict a U.S. Army Ranger.
Maybe New York.
who punches a guy. He does the old like palm punch to the nose with the old like fairy tale that it's going to somehow break your nose and go up into your brain. Yeah, kills the guy.
Yeah, pinpoint accuracy.
Yes. Like I don't know.
I bet a Ranger could do that.
No, I'm sure it's possible, but like he doesn't get convicted of anything for that.
You wouldn't think.
Might get a commendation, like hey, thanks for taking out the trash.
That guy on the New York subway didn't. You never know. But,
oh man, and what is it with like?
What was the line those guys had to him? He's like, "You assholes lost us Vietnam" or something.
Yes. What year is this?
Yeah, 30 years ago.
You weren't alive in Vietnam. Like, what are you talking about? Or when he comes up when he's dancing with his wife and he throws like a $5 bill or something in his face and says, "Why don't you go buy me and my friends a drink?" What, with your money? Like, what the fuck?
Exactly.
God, it was...
And that would... $5 would not buy 2 drinks now.
No, it wouldn't. Not at all.
No. But so it starts. So you get the impression he is a badass, right off the bat.
Yeah.
Kills a guy with one hit. And then the prison scene in the beginning, he's doing headstand push-ups, jail cell.
And then you notice there was more fire in the jail cell?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, who's putting these fires?
Yeah, like who is starting fires in jail cells?
In every prison movie, there's a fire.
Is that just a thing? I mean, maybe it's true.
And nobody's even looking at the fire; it's just going.
Yeah, there's just like fires going on and like riots and who knows what else is going on.
And his buddy, the diabetic, is that not Bubba from? Is that not him from Forrest Gump?
I don't know that I noticed it during the movie, but now I'm just going to say it is. I'm pretty sure it is.
Or is it just me thinking that all black actors look alike? Is that? I'm going to look it up. I think it is. Because I think me and Brad noticed that the other night. His Bubba Gump. Or Bubba Shrimp.
And then, like, so then it gets to the point, like, right, so they're leaving the prison and they're going to go to this transport. And it is, like, the biggest fanfare, right? Like, there's a bus coming in. It's got choppers behind it. I'm like, what in the world? Like, what do they need the helicopters for?
In case they
take the bus?
Yeah.
Well, they had bigger plans, so.
Yeah. That's the most realistic part of the movie. I can see that.
I don't know, man. They had like 2 choppers flying pretty low following this
These
bus.
are the baddest of bad dudes, right?
I guess.
I don't know.
I guess.
The part where I'm a little fuzzy on is the DEA agent they put on the plane.
Yeah.
Why did they put him on the plane?
So one of the criminals who's supposed to get on the plane in Carson City is some Mexican cartel, Colombian cartel drug guy. And so he evidently gets chatty around other criminals.
Okay.
And so they were putting him on there for that. That whole like DEA prison, like that whole thing is just kind of crazy, right? So the guy wants to carry a gun. Right, he's going to be in cuffs. Like they put him in cuffs to put him on the plane.
But have a gun in his
But he's
sock.
going to have a gun, right? Like he needs a gun. And they're like, no, you can't have a gun because you're around all these criminals. Okay, that makes a lot of sense, right? And then, like, he's getting on the plane, and his boss, like, it's the most obvious thing you've ever seen, shoves a pistol in his sock.
Yeah.
And it's like, first of all, why would these guards be like, oh, yeah, let this DEA guy, just, like, pat this guy down. Oh, I got this guy, is what he says. And then he puts the gun in there. And it's like, there's no way that would work in real
that
life.
gun would fall out of your sock when you're walking,
Yes.
too.
Not to mention someone would be like, hey, asshole, we told you no guns. You can't give a prisoner a gun.
No. Okay, so that explains that, because I knew I missed something there.
But, like, also, when they're, like, getting him ready to go on the plane, were the old, like, wires at that time, were they just, like, the old, like, Fisher-Price fucking tape recorders? They taped, like, a 10-inch by 6-inch tape recorder to the guy's chest.
This was 1997, so I don't know.
I guess.
Yeah, I think it probably was back then.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like we were about to get into cell phones. Are you telling me we didn't have recorders that were smaller than a Bible? I was like, God, this is so ridiculous. They've got to have something better.
Yeah, that would be nerve-wracking wearing a wire like that. It's just popping out of your chest.
I mean, like, at some point later in the movie, like, Poe, like, shoves that recorder on somebody else. Like, it is not just a recorder. It's got, like...
It's got film roll.
It's got film roll. Not like a cassette tape, which they did have cassette tapes back then.
It looked like an old burlesque film from the 50s.
It was like, it was insane.
It was. Yeah, when it rolled out of that guy, it just kept rolling for like 30 seconds.
Like, there's no way. Like, they couldn't come up with a better prop than that. Maybe they did, and they were like, well, we need this to roll into a guy later, so we better go back and reshoot those with an older version.
They're like, we've gone this far with this movie. Let's just let this go. I'm still confused how they put pins in their hands to unlock the...
Yeah, I was thinking about that when they were taking them out. Like, I guess you could
callus up your hands.
Yeah, if your hands were callous, you could stick them in a callus.
But would it be that easy to pick a lock like that? I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, you're in cuffs, and so you've shoved a nail or something up a callus on your hands, which looks like it would hurt like hell. And then you use that to, I mean, I guess you're trying to escape prison.
Again, probably the
anything.
most realistic.
Probably not the worst thing you've had to do all week.
No.
It's how about like Dave Chappelle, like
that
swallowing, like that's actually kind of halfway realistic. Swallowing it like it's like a bag of drugs.
Wasn't it like gasoline?
Yeah, it must have been like some sort of accelerant.
And he lit that Indian on fire.
What a great line! It's like, but if you make it through this all right, I hope you don't hold a grudge.
Yes.
And then the guy holds a grudge the entire movie.
Wouldn't you? I would think.
Yeah, you just got lit on fire.
And then the other thing I jotted down was Cameron Poe is a cool name.
Yeah.
Like, that's just
Poe. His uncle.
Cam Poe.
Edgar Allan, his uncle.
Okay, dad joke. We don't have any listeners already. We don't need that.
That's how we're going to get listeners.
We have to mention Danny Trejo, just a serial rapist, and he's proud of it. And is every role he plays a rapist, Danny Trejo?
He plays a terrible person in every movie.
Every movie. Except, well, I haven't really seen Machete, but I think he's still a pretty shitty guy, but isn't he like the good guy, technically?
I haven't seen that, so I don't know.
Next movie.
Didn't one of your daughters...
Yes. No, I said... My wife, J.D., got really drunk in a picture, and we said she looked like Danny Trejo. And for some reason, she didn't think that was a compliment.
Oh, see, I kind of thought the story was that one of your daughters saw Danny Trejo on the TV and goes, "Hey, Mom."
Oh, yeah. That was his Snickers commercial. There's Mama. Yeah. Had the long flowing hair. That is what she looks like when she doesn't get a Snickers. Very angry.
Oh, man.
But yeah, Trejo could not stop raping women in this movie. He even wanted to rape the prison guard.
I know. Like,
Cam Poe had to stop him.
We were talking earlier, and you made a good point. Like, we had to watch the language edited version from AMC, and they're like bleeping out the word shit, but yet they're gonna leave in the scene about the guy where he's talking about. Yeah. They'd call me Johnny 600 if they knew the truth.
They knew how many I actually raped.
Yeah.
Like, he showed each tattoo for each girl he brutally raped and murdered. But they bleeped twat.
No problem. Yeah, no problem with that, but you got to bleep out some cuss words.
Just in case a kid walked in.
Yeah.
So Trejo's always good.
Oh, man.
Which con was the scariest?
Oh, man. Buscemi. Like, serial killer.
But look at him. He's so nice.
Oh, yeah. No, you feel like you could take him, but, like, you just know that guy's...
when a guy shows up in the full Hannibal lecture,
yes.
You know that dude's serious.
But, like...
What is Cyrus? That was a good line. I'm a big fan of your work.
Yeah.
As he's wheeling him in.
What's his name? I forget what it was in the movie. Something Diamond Dog.
Ving Rhames?
Yeah, Ving Rhames is.
Well, he's just visually the scariest.
Yeah,
he's
a big dude.
Yeah.
I always liked him in Mission Impossible. Like
he's
role
good.
In
he's got a lot of good roles.
But yeah, he's a big dude.
And then
no, they're all scary, man. Could you imagine?
John Malkovich is like he's very intelligent.
What a role!
Yeah,
like he has been in some like really. He's like a really well liked, like renowned actor. Yeah. And here he is playing Cyrus the damn virus.
Elite nickname, Cyrus the Virus.
Yeah.
He was good in that. He kind of creeped me out. He might be the scariest to me.
Yeah.
Just because he manipulated you so easy.
Probably.
I don't know.
They're all pretty scary though. I'd be shitting my pants if I was on
a what a terrible plane
prison
ride.
transport that got taken over by the prisoners. that scene where John Cusack's character, Larkin or whatever, is like the prison guards like find Cyrus's cell and like they find his like stash,
Yeah.
and they pull all that stuff out. And it's got like schematics and shit, and it's like how do these guys get this shit?
And how did he figure it out that quick?
Like
they cut holes in the. It was the Last Supper,
oh
I
yeah,
believe.
yeah, and like how did he know like which letters to put it on?
He knew what page to put it on, and how to decipher the code.
That was pretty fucking stupid. That's no way that happens. Like, what code do you need? There's schematics of the plane.
Of the exact
He's on a
prison
plane, and like, where's it stopping? Like, yes, and he's sitting there. He goes, cars, Karska, Karski.
And how did Malkovich communicate that to who he was trying to send? Was he trying to send that to another?
No. I think he received it from the cartel that was trying to get the drug guy.
Okay, and he figured that out?
I guess. I don't know.
They're
like, how was he able to fucking drywall up his goddamn cell? Like, was he got a crew coming in there?
Yeah.
Like, and then like the stupid guard, it's like says, please, the guy Cusack says, don't touch anything, I'll be back. And there's a box that says, do not open. Like, what are you doing?
I'm open.
Said, don't touch anything. And he fucking, the guy's like, somehow Cyrus has gotten explosives in there and the triggers and stuff for that to explode. But it's a bit much.
I feel like they weren't guarding Cyrus's cell very well.
No. Maybe they should do a better job.
Maybe it was the cop that arrested Scottie Scheffler.
That's where he's headed. He's no longer going to be a cop. He's going to be a prison guard.
So yeah, the one scene that kind of had me holding my breath was the Buscemi with the little girl.
Yeah, even though I've seen it and
I like that I
forgot that like how it turns out. But you totally think that like, oh man,
that movie could have taken a turn to
this is going to go real dark.
But they kept it kind of light action.
Yeah, I guess.
Because they they sing a song or something.
Yeah. Like at some point, like it shows the pool and it's like empty, and you just think, oh no. But then later you see her out there again, so you kind of know nothing. She didn't get murdered by a serial killer.
And then the Vegas, it always ends in Vegas with Nick Cage.
Yeah.
Movies.
I was doing some reading on this, and the original script for it wasn't supposed to be in Vegas.
Did he demand it?
The original script was it was gonna land on 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue and crash into the White House.
Oh, that got nixed.
Yeah, I guess they decided they wanted to crash into Vegas. But that whole scene, like they're about to shoot the plane down. Like, no, don't shoot the plane down. Like they're gonna save like one guard and one convict who I guess is okay. And so instead of like shooting him down in the desert,
they just run into the busiest place on earth.
Yeah. And they set this plane down in like on the strip, and like from what you can tell, like it doesn't look like anybody gets seriously hurt except for the convicts. I guess the casino, so they run out of runway and they crash into a casino. I guess that was that actually happened. It was a casino that was going to be demolished.
Really?
And so they talked the owners into like, hey, can you just wait to demolish that a few weeks? We're gonna, and they
why not?
So they however they did it, they actually ran into a casino, destroyed it a little bit. So which I thought that was pretty cool.
That is.
That whole thing was
a bit over the top.
I like some of the stuff in the movie is just it's just nuts. But like again, like they're criminals are not the smartest people in the world. But like when that plane's still in the air and like the choppers come up on it, and like the criminals are like firing handguns at the choppers, like what do you think that's gonna do? Like you're from that distance and the wind and all that, you're probably not even gonna hit it. How about that scene when Poe is like he's decided he's gonna take this plane back? and he's walking and he gets shot in the arm and he doesn't even flinch. You see his arm just like blood explode out of it, and he just keeps walking. And the guy who shot him was like, "Oh shit,
That's an Army Ranger right there.
yeah." Just a complete fucking badass.
Cage is pretty jacked in that.
Yeah.
He was.
Yeah. I might like let the hair grow out and like
You should do it.
see if although like
Can
my
I
hair
shoot
gets
you in the arm?
my
then?
hair
See
gets
if-
long at all, and it just gets like
like a fro.
frizzy, froze out a little bit.
You'd
So
have to flat iron it.
let me borrow your let me buy your straight iron. Oh man. And then like so they crash in Vegas. All right, so Poe's on the ground. He's out of this like shitty situation. Like all right. Why did they fly his wife and daughter to Vegas where
To
the
the crash
shit show's
scene.
going on? Like that would never fucking happen.
It's like, here, honey, here's your
Here,
dad.
we're gonna take you right into danger where these criminals are just crash landed and have guns and are not all captured.
First time she meets her dad, he's profusely bleeding.
Yeah. And
walking out of a crash scene.
All right, he's landed. There's a few criminals that are like running off with a fire truck. Why is he on a motorcycle chasing them down? Leave it to the cops. You've done enough. Like maybe you just take a break.
It's the Ranger in him.
I guess. but,
Campo.
man, I think maybe you go find your wife and kid before you get killed.
I watch these movies, I'm like, I don't even like going to the grocery store, and this guy's just saving the world. Like, he's just jumping in the action.
I get so annoyed by everyone at the grocery store. I would not
Save
piss
them.
on them if they were on fire. I can't imagine like saving all these people.
You'd let Cyrus the Virus have his way.
Be like, I'm gonna get off this plane. We need a few volunteers to get off the plane. All right, me.
Movie over.
Yes, hand up, me.
It's a 20-minute movie. And it just
I'm
ends
done.
You guys have fun.
Don't do anything I wouldn't do. See you later. Oh. And then like when Cyrus finally does die, like it's just crazy. Like he's on the fire truck. He's on like the ladder, right? And then like Poe, I think it was Poe, raises it up, or was Cusack, one of the two, raises the ladder up, and like it runs into like a skywalk,
Yes.
and then he goes to the other side of it, and then in the end, like he's like looking up at something, and I can't remember what it was, but they just drop this giant weight on his head, and it just pops it like a pimple.
That's pretty awesome. That was
Yeah.
pretty awesome.
Great way to go. Great death scene.
So I would recommend this film if you've not seen it.
Oh yeah, fucking great
it-
film.
It's better than some of them we've watched.
Yes. It really makes me. There's quite a few Nick Cage movies that I need to go back and watch now. Like, I used to love Face Off
With
with him and Travolta.
Never seen it, actually.
You've never seen it? Oh,
Might have to do that one.
we might. That's such a great movie.
I know a lot about his movies, but there's a lot I have not seen, actually. Like,
The Rock.
I've seen that.
That's a great
That's
one.
a good one with Connery.
Yeah.
Me
How many?
and Brad recently watched Bangkok Dangerous.
I haven't seen that one. I've seen it
Holy
like
shit.
on like Hulu and shit. But any good?
It'd be good for this. It would be. I will rewatch it for this. Yes.
How many movies do you think Nick Cage has been in?
He really has been on a run as he gets older here. With,
Take a guess.
do you know?
Take a guess.
105.
That's pretty close.
Well,
So I Googled it, and Google doesn't even really know. Google just says, at least 116.
yeah. So I am pretty. Well, has there been one he says no to?
No, I'm pretty sure the last
Especially
5,
the
10
last
years,
decade. Yeah.
like he has been like, yes, I will do every movie that comes my way because I owe a lot of money to the IRS or something.
Snake Eyes. Have you seen that one? I've seen that one. That was
I
all right.
have. What's the premise? I forget what it's about though.
It's like if it's the one I'm thinking of, let me double check. Because it like involves a casino, I believe.
oh,
Leaving Las Vegas, you've seen that.
oh yeah.
That's
an actual good movie.
it's an actual good movie.
So like
depressing.
earlier in his career, he did a lot of like stuff that was really good movies. Now, some of it's over the top. Like, this is fucking over the top, but...
The boxing match, that's what it...
Okay.
Shady police detective finds himself in the middle of a murder conspiracy at an important boxing match in Atlantic City.
Oh. Oh, there's some more casinos.
Yeah. Yeah, he's always like in or around a gambling venue, it seems.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, he did have some good series. That City of Angels, I think it was called.
Yeah, I remember that one. It's an interesting one. So, the director of Con Air...
Bruckheimer.
No, Simon West.
Oh, wow. I was way off there. Where did I see Bruckheimer at?
Also directed something that we've all seen.
What?
He directed the music video for Rick Astley's Never Gonna Give You Up.
This guy's brilliant.
He rickrolled all of us.
Is he still alive? Can he get on our
I assume so.
Can he produce this?
No. Con Air nominated for 2 Oscars. Didn't win. They were both sound related.
I was going to say it wasn't Best Picture, probably.
No. Guess what? Do you know what won the Oscars? Like, swept the entire
1997?
show that year.
Was it Titanic?
Titanic. Ding,
I
ding,
knew it was
ding.
around 97, and that... Except Leo didn't win. I know that because he didn't win till recently, I believe.
The director, he's like quoted as saying something about a sequel at one point, and if he was going to do a sequel, he said it should be in space.
Okay, he probably should do. Would Cameron Poe be on this too?
I think he said something about like it would be in the future and it'd have to do with like robots and shit.
He should pick it up like a year later. He kills another man at a bar for grabbing his wife's ass.
No. It's like 10 years, maybe 15 years in the future, and it's his daughter's husband kills somebody, and then he has to like help facilitate. He jumps out of a plane to get onto another plane.
He rides a spaceship to the spaceship Con Air. Actually, I'm relieved he didn't do a sequel. Sometimes they just it's too much.
It is too much. Nick Cage did most of his own stunts in this.
Stud.
Doesn't surprise me. Absolutely.
He seems like one that would do most of them.
I mean, I don't know what kind of stunts were really in it.
He rode a fire truck and well, there was some action there. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, it was a really good flick. It's something you could watch, even if you've seen it, you just watch it again.
You could watch drunk on a Saturday night after you sprain your MCL falling down the stairs.
You know
that's
what
I did.
You're lucky that's all that happened.
I know.
Like, people die falling downstairs.
I'm lucky my dog's all right, too. I was holding her.
If you had died, this podcast would have blown up.
Would you get Brad to replace me?
I'd hold auditions.
Oh, my God. Yeah, I got a text from my neighbor who was sober the next day. He's like, how's your knee, Zion?
You are the complete opposite of Zion Williamson.
Except we have bad knees. You're right. Zion will be out for the year. I'm back already. We are opposite. I do wish we had video of it because the position I was in.
Oh, I just can't imagine.
Yeah. Never knew I could stretch like that. Obviously, I can't.
Oh, man. I can't watch movies like at night, late at night like that because I just fall asleep. And you know me, like I'll be like head back, mouth agape.
You've stayed up pretty when we're drinking. I don't know if there's people there.
Yeah, if we're like conversing and doing
That's
stuff,
what
but if we just
doing.
sit and watch a movie, like I'll just be.
Well, that's a big reason why I don't. Like I was drunk, but I remember most of the night. But we were talking so much that I didn't catch the whole movie. So it was a fun night.
Quite the day.
Yeah, I had every plan to go home. Probably about when you left, and like just sit out in the driveway or something.
Yeah, yeah.
Everyone was having fun.
Well, when you're at like an outdoor patio, it doesn't feel that different than to like,
No,
sitting
it
at
doesn't.
home. And that place didn't seem like it was too crazy price wise.
No, it really wasn't. I do wish they just had music on. We had that one guy. Remember that guy?
Oh yeah, there was the guy with
like
the guitar.
Jack Black.
He was out there all night.
He did quit. He was still going when you left, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, he played for another.
Wow.
Yeah, he just wasn't that good, but
he was okay.
Well, let's watch him be one of our listeners when he's lost him.
Good.
What else we got? Oh, there's a next movie. This is one I've never seen except the preview. I might watch it tonight or tomorrow. It's a horror movie. It's only about an hour and 15 minutes.
Wow.
And the name is escaping me right now. I'll look it up. But a Tinder date. Guy brings home a girl, and they're really hitting it off. And he's like, "Oh, I want you to meet my dog." And a grown-ass man walks in dressed as a dog. And, like, that's this dude's, like, I don't know anything else. And, like, he's like, "Pet my dog," and the human dog. This let me find the name of it.
Wasn't there, like, a TV show on, like, FX?
Yes, there was.
Where a guy was in a dog costume?
Or the guy pictured this dog as...
Yes.
Yeah. What is it called? I gotta find it. I mean, yeah, here it is. Good Boy, it's called. Christian, a millionaire.
Who's a good boy?
A millionaire heir meets Sigrid, a young student, on a dating app. They hit it off, but there's only one problem. Christian lives with Frank, a man who dresses up and constantly acts like a dog.
Are you gonna watch it? Are you trying to get us to watch this because you're in it?
Yeah, it's me.
It's your life story.
Hey, it's on Prime.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
We can watch it.
An hour and 16 minutes. That is a short fucking movie.
Well, they know. You can't push a good thing too far.
5.7 out of 10. I've seen worse. So that might be one we need to break down.
Oh. Boy, Indiana got waxed.
Yeah, this series. Indiana's going to win Game 3. I'm calling it now.
Get your bets in.
Then they'll lose Game 4.
And 5.
The gentleman's sweep. 4-1. Let them have one. Yeah, that Game 1, Indiana really needed that bad. That was their chance.
At what point in summer do you start, like, looking at anything fantasy football related?
Fantasy? I'm already following Dallas's OTAs, but for fantasy...
That's because you're a Dallas fan. That has nothing to do with fantasy football.
Fantasy, late July.
Yeah, it's usually August for me.
Yeah, late July, early August.
Started listening to some other stuff, podcasts and stuff, and
I did see
a few articles, but
on Instagram, just based off my likes, I did see the PPR mock draft. Did you see?
I have seen.
Who's number one?
A few of these. Well, McCaffrey.
Okay, who's number two? What surprised me?
I saw some that were like CeeDee Lamb, and I saw some. I've seen some.
And I love CeeDee, but
yeah,
I guess he was the highest last year. I guess, but you'd still think maybe Jefferson or
I don't know. Have you seen some of the reports out of Vikings camp with JJ?
Ooh, listen up, Vikes fans. No, I've not. Go on.
No, I'm just saying that, like...
Is it not good?
It's not great.
Are you calling him a bust already?
No. It's way too early for that stuff. But, like there was... And again, like, this could just be because, as a Bears fan, I follow a lot of Bears stuff.
Yeah, like, oh, he sucks.
And so I catch a lot of, like, unnecessary stuff about how other teams' people are terrible, especially in the NFC North. But, like, there was a picture, and it was like JJ was getting an earful from the cops.
Whoa.
JJ was getting an earful from the coaches.
Was Scheffler's cop?
I still got
You're
Con
still
Air on
thinking
the brain.
about golf and Con Air.
Yes. Anyway, so it's like JJ is getting an earful from the coaches, and Sam Darnold's behind him, and the like quote on the picture was, "Sam Darnold's got a face like a guy who knows he's going to have to start all year."
It would not surprise me.
No, JJ's gonna start week 1. He'll probably
Then they just ruin him.
But yeah, maybe, but I don't know. How do you ruin a guy when you have actual weapons all over the field?
He does have a loader offense. I don't know, but all I'm seeing is Trey Lance is throwing dimes in the OTAs.
I hope it works out for that guy.
It won't be this year. They got Dak at least another year, but we'll see.
Feel bad that my boy took his job.
Your boy.
My dad's already said he's keeping.
That's what you said.
And I say he's got him in like 6th round. I'm like, first of all, you drafted him too early then, and that's still too early now.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to keep him.
No, just let Bruce do him.
That's what I said. I said, all right, you do you, but you don't have to keep him. Like, you could just draft him in the 6th round. Although,
but that's his guy. He likes
what do I
cheering
know?
for someone.
What do I know? I before last year, before they traded Trey Lance, I told him, I said, you're insane. They're not going to start Purdy. When Trey Lance is better, they're going to play Trey Lance. They invested all that draft capital in the guy. There's no way. Well, no, they cut bait and got what they could and moved on.
Yeah, that was... It's amazing how good that team is with that awful trade.
Yeah.
The Niners. Like,
yeah. That should set back most teams.
Yeah, most franchises for quite a while. That was a really bad trade.
Yeah.
So, we'll see. But no, there's nothing like the NFL.
Yeah,
I don't want it to be here because I love summer.
Yes.
I enjoy summer, but it is the best to watch.
it is like a double-edged sword, right? Like, I love football, but I also I hate once it gets here. You just like the summer's over, man. The kids are going back to school.
Yeah.
Like, you got warm weather for a while, but it's like this. It goes back to the old, like, kind of warm, kind of cold.
But winter would be really depressing without it.
Yeah.
We need it.
Yeah, could you imagine if football started in March, like week 1 is like May 1st, and it just goes all summer, and then it stops like the week before Thanksgiving. Yeah. And then you just have Thanksgiving, the holidays, and winter.
Just nothing to look forward to.
Yeah.
At all.
That
Especially
would be a fucking terrible world to live in.
Yeah, what do people who don't like football do? I don't know.
I don't know. They probably go outside.
Probably a lot more successful, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
They work out.
They don't fall downstairs.
Their MCLs are intact.
Yeah. Had to go buy a copper fit knee sleeve today.
Copper fit. Brett Favre in the house.
I don't have any Crocs yet like Brett, but